Okay, we are going to get started. First, I would like to welcome all of our parents and students and our college reps to our annual college panel event. This is just one of the very many things that the Fort Lee School Counseling Office does to help prepare our students for the college application process their senior year. I know that some of our 9th graders and 10th graders and their parents have joined today, and this may be one of the first college panel events that you've attended. So just to kind of give everyone some feedback on how this works, we invite 6 different colleges every year to attend. We highly encourage students to come in grades 9, 10, and 11, because if they do, they would have heard from over 50 colleges, which helps prepare them for the application process and just see a little bit more about what these college admission reps are looking for in each applicant, and to see the differences between all of the things that those schools have to offer. And just to give our parents and students some feedback of things that they can continue to look out for in subsequent years. Every year in September, we offer a college fair. Typically, we have about 90 to 100 colleges come here on an evening. We set it all up in the gym, and students have the ability to walk around to talk to these different reps. Obviously, this year we've had to do that a little bit different. We sent out multiple communications on virtual college fairs, and we will do that in September. I'm not exactly sure what the college fair process will look like then, but I have a feeling it may still be virtual. And in October, November, and December, our guidance counselors push into classrooms, whether it be virtual or in person, to do different college prep lessons. We teach our students the difference between the SAT and ACT, and when you are more equipped to take one test over the other. We talk about how to begin the college search and using our college application tool called Naviance, which is where students actually submit their applications essentially from. We also talk about letters of recommendation and what that process is. All of this information is stored in our school counseling Google Classroom. By now, almost all of our students, I think we have about 96% of our students involved in this Google Classroom, and everyone is following along. Then, of course, we have our 9th, 10th, and 11th grade breakfasts that our counselors put together, and every year we invite all those grade level parents into the building, and we talk to them about some of the college planning tips and tools that they should be working on relevant to the grade level that the student is in. In January through March is when we meet individually with our students to go over scheduling, which is always part of the college application process, because we want to ensure that our students are taking courses that are geared towards what their future studies are. And during this time of the school year is when we are meeting individually with all of our juniors and their parents to talk a little bit more about the college planning process, what they should be doing over the summer, how to identify colleges that they're thinking about and applying to in Naviance. This is a precursor essentially to that individualized senior meeting where we review everything with the college application process and ensure our students are ready to go and applying to all of the colleges that they're interested in. So with no further ado, I would like to introduce Ms. Gabby Brown and Ms. Tara Lawler, who will be leading the college panel and introducing to you all of the wonderful college admission reps that we have here today. Tara, Gabby?
Okay. Sorry, I think I just got disconnected. All part of using Zoom. So thank you everyone for attending our college panel. Ms. Lawler and I put this together in the spring, and we hope that today's event will help alleviate some of the stress that comes with this college application process. So today we've been very fortunate to get representatives from Penn State, from Ramapo, from Stony Brook, from Rutgers University, from Delaware, and from Caldwell. Thank you so much for attending, reps. And I hope that, from the information that we've already shared on our Google Classroom page, on our website, you'll see that each college will, after I speak, will go over the college information at a glance sheet that we provided for our students and parents. This will give you, general information about the school, their enrollment, what they expect for admissions. And I ask that all the representatives representatives, go over this briefly and highlight, any demographic area that they feel is important to mention for this panel event. When you go through that, I just ask that our representatives, you can go through the information and highlight what you would like, but one of the biggest questions that we get as counselors is if you offer early action and early decision, if you believe that this benefits the applicant. So while you're going through that information, if you could mention that perhaps at the end. So I'm going to open up the floor for our first school. Will be Caldwell, located here in the great state of New Jersey. And I'll leave Mr. Colligan to go over that.
Just before we get started, for anyone that does not have the college application, the college at a glance document, it was posted in all of the students' Google Classrooms, and it's also right on our website. If you go right to the high school website, the first announcement under news, it'll say college panel night. You click on that, and that's where you will be able to find this document that you can look at throughout. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys for the introduction, and hi everybody, hope you're doing well today. My name is Patrick. I'm an undergraduate admissions counselor here at Caldwell University. So I'll be going over a little bit what's on the sheet. Like they mentioned, you guys have access. So we are a small private institution. We are faith-based, our Catholic Dominican tradition. We're located right here in northern New Jersey, right in the downtown of Caldwell, which is really cool, lends itself to, being integrated as a part of the town. It's a lot of fun to see the town kind of come around us. We have been named a top 15 best value college here in the Northeast by the U.S. News and World Report in 2021. So we like to say we're kind of a hidden gem here because we are smaller, right around 2,000 or so total students, about 1,700 undergrads. And in terms of our school itself, we offer a large variety of programs. Typically, our nursing program is one of our most competitive and one of our highly requested programs. We also have psychology, criminal justice, one of our growing programs. We do have a business school. We start with the liberal arts kind of core and work up from there. So there's a lot of different things that you can find here at Caldwell. One of our biggest focuses that wasn't listed on the sheet was that outcomes really do matter to us. 98% of our recent graduates are either employed in graduate school or participating in a service project. So, we're here for just the schooling and then beyond as well. The small campus lends itself to a very tight-knit feeling. It's kind of home away from home, which is great. You get to interact directly with your professors and you get to build lasting relationships with them and also with the, businesses and things they've been able to kind of build relationships with in the past. We're located pretty close to New York City, about 45 minutes. So a lot of those businesses, we've had students intern with the Red Bulls, students intern with a variety of different programs and businesses throughout New York City. And then in terms of, our application and specifically, as they said, with early action, early decision, one of the important things to note is we did recently switch to test optional. So that's really important because now you can either apply with your SAT scores and ACT scores or without. They're still considered at the same level for different scholarships and things like that. And for the application itself, we are rolling admission here at Caldwell. So we do have like an early action period. Nothing is binding, but you can apply early, and kind of the benefit of that is you just get to know a little bit earlier whether you've been accepted or not. Beyond that, though, nothing's binding. Even May 1st is kind of a soft deadline for us. That's just the last day you can get your deposit refunded should you decide to deposit and then later decide not to come to Caldwell. So you could realistically, go right up until orientation in August. Hopefully before that. It's nice to know before that, but you definitely have time when you're working through your decision, when you're working through your application. So.
Thank you. Penn State? Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me. I'm terribly disappointed not to be able to be with you in person. I always love visiting your school, but I'm happy to be here virtually, and thank you again for hosting me today. So my name is Stacy Kowalczyk. I am from Penn State University. I've been with Penn State University for about 14 years. I am, of course, also a very proud alumni of Penn State University. And so when we talk about Penn State University, we do like to talk about, the fit and the feeling. And I can certainly tell you, being a Penn State alumni, we do bleed blue and white, and it runs proud through us. You guys live here in New Jersey, second only to the state of Pennsylvania if we're talking about number of alumni by volume. There are over 25,000 Penn State alumni right here in the beautiful state of New Jersey. So I know it is hard to even drive down the street and not see a Penn State bumper sticker wherever you may be. So hopefully you know a little bit about Penn State just in terms of our pride, but let me take it back a little bit and talk to you a little bit larger. So Penn State University is the State University of Pennsylvania. We are a large Major I Division I research institution. We are the land grant institution of the state of Pennsylvania. What might make us a little bit different than some of the other schools that you'll hear from today is that we are a multi-campus system. So you're all probably most familiar with the largest campus of Penn State University. It's the University Park campus. Some people would consider that the main campus of Penn State. But what you might not be aware of is that we have 19 other campuses all over the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We like to think of ourselves as one university geographically dispersed all over the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Now at the university, as you're looking small, medium, large size schools, we are certainly a supersized university, if you will. We have a total enrollment of about 95,000 students, and we are very proud of that. But our largest campus, the University Park campus, has that enrollment of about 46,000 students, and then the rest of our campuses, or the rest of our students, are spread out among the state of Pennsylvania at those campuses. And they vary in size from just a couple hundred students up to a couple thousand students, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 students, and then that largest campus, University Park. And I tell you that because I want you to understand sort of the opportunities there at Penn State University. So like I said, we're one university geographically dispersed. So what that means is no matter which campus you start your Penn State degree at, no matter which campus you finish your Penn State degree at, the education you're getting is all part of Penn State University. And when you graduate, your degree, your diploma is going to say Pennsylvania State University. We have over 275 academic programs for you to choose between. They're spread out among 13 academic colleges. You can also apply to us undecided, which is fine. I actually personally think you get great advisement if you start out undecided, and then you're able to work with your advisor, take classes, figure out what you're good at, figure out what you're not good at, and then declare your major at the end of your 4th semester. So that's an option for you as well. In terms of some other facts and figures that I can give you, I would encourage you to apply early action to Penn State University. Last year, this year, as we're looking at applications, we're at about 110,000 applications to the university. So that is a lot. And really just to encourage and give you the best chance of being admitted. We would encourage you to take advantage of that early action opportunity. For us, early action is November 1st. You need to have a complete application on file by November 1st. You're guaranteed an admissions decision by December 24th. That decision is not binding. It just sort of hangs out in your pocket for the rest of your senior year of high school. And then, you can let us know if you're going to attend or not by May 1st. If you accept your offer sooner than that, that's great, and you can start on the housing process, but you do have until May 1st to accept your offer. And I really would encourage you to apply by that early action deadline. Because we get so many applications, you can kind of think of it like a funnel, right? The most spots are available in that first early action application pool. Now, we do continue to accept applications all year long. Just the choices that you have may be a little bit more limited. But because we have that multi-campus system, there is usually a spot for most students who are interested in applying to Penn State to get a spot at one of our campus locations. It's just if you're interested in that University Park campus, which is really our most competitive campus, that you want to make sure you get it in sooner rather than later. Other things I can tell you about the university: we have 1,200 clubs and organizations, which we would encourage you to take part in. We compete in Division I Big Ten athletics athletics at the University Park campus, where we have 31 Division I varsity athletic sports. What sets us apart a little bit is that we also have campuses that offer Division III athletics. So if you're interested in participating in Division III, we do have a few campuses, the Erie campus, the Altoona campus, the Harrisburg campus, that might be a good fit for you. And then all of our other campuses do offer sort of intercollegiate athletics where they're competing with the other Penn State campuses. So that's an option for you as well. And then the last thing I'll say before I pass it on, and I started about talking about being a Penn State alumni, is that Penn State University is home to the world's largest alumni association, in that we have over 700,000 living Penn Staters all over the world. And we think that that's a really nice network for you to join and to be a part of. So not only are you going to feel that we are Penn State spirit, but that network is there for you, because we think it's, right now we know you're 16, 17, you're worried about where am I going to get in, where am I going to go to college. We think what you need to be thinking about is, can I get out? Am I going to graduate? And sort of what's next for me? So we think Penn State prepares you for whatever that is, whether it's taking advantage of our career services and, interviewing with one of the Fortune 500 companies that come to recruit our students. That's an option for you. But maybe it's graduate school, maybe it's law school, maybe it's medical school, maybe it's the Peace Corps. Whatever it is that you are interested in doing upon graduation, Penn State is going to prepare you for that next step. And again, I'm really happy to be here and answer any questions that you guys have today. So thanks so much for having me.
Thank you so much. Ramapo.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here. We are happy to be here speaking with you. About me, my name is Jose Vallejo. I am an admissions counselor here at the college. I also coordinate our student ambassador program here for Ramapo. A little bit about Ramapo that I can share with you is we're located up in Mahwah, New Jersey. So we're up in Bergen County. We're probably a good maybe 30 minutes from Fort Lee. Probably a little longer if you hit the traffic in Paramus at the right time. But we definitely are proud to be the only four-year public college in Bergen County. We're also proud to be one of the smallest four-year public colleges in the state of New Jersey, because for us, our campus size really allows us to provide you with that small classroom environment and direct contact with our faculty who are here to teach and mentor students. We have a total undergraduate population of about 5,500 students, give or take a couple of sophomores. But we also are proud to say that we have an average class size of about 21 students per class, with no more than 35 in any one class. So we really commit ourselves to providing you with that small classroom environment. We also don't have any teaching assistants for any of our courses, so all your classes are taught by full-time faculty. We have professional teaching staff that also help with teaching certain courses, so you really do get a lot of attention in the classroom. All of our courses do provide students with opportunities to explore your education outside of the classroom, whether that's experiential learning, whether that is out of class learning or internships. We provide you with a lot of different opportunities to really get a global education, both academic and hands-on. We have over 100 majors, minors, and concentrations at Ramapo College that's divided up into 5 academic schools. We definitely offer a number of popular programs, but our most competitive program right now at the undergraduate level is our nursing program, as well as our joint medical programs. Through our biology major, we offer a number of joint programs in the medical field with different medical schools, including the Lake Erie College of Medicine, Rutgers University, and Touro College, where students can start off at Ramapo and go right into the medical program at these medical schools. We also offer a number of 4+1 options that allow students to get not only their bachelor's degree, but also their master's degree from Ramapo College in 5 years full time. So we have a lot of different opportunities for students to get a great education. Other things that I can tell you about the institution is, of course, the college experience isn't just the academics, it's a big part of it, but we're also proud to have over 350 student clubs, organizations, fraternities and sororities, leadership programming, and volunteer opportunities. So we have a ton of things for you to do outside of the classroom. We have a number of programs such as our study abroad program, opportunities to do international co-ops and internships as well in about 45 countries. Obviously, this year, not a lot of traveling outside of the United States. You know, there's this whole pandemic thing that's happening, but we definitely have opportunities for our students to still get experiences working in international corporations that are done virtually with companies locally that have international properties as well. So definitely tailoring those experiences for our students to make sure that they're getting that great education. On the admissions side, students can apply to Ramapo through the Common App, Coalition application, or our website. We don't have a preference which one you use. We try to make it as simple as possible. Our average GPA for admitted students tends to be roughly about a 3.4 GPA, about a B plus average. We are a test optional institution, so we do not require SATs for any of our undergraduate majors or 4+1 programs. We also don't require SATs or ACTs for scholarship review. Our joint medical programs, as well as our joint law program with Seton Hall Law, does still require SATs, but we also do offer non-SAT options for all of those programs. So students who may not be able to do the SAT can still apply to Ramapo for our biology pre-med program and follow the exact same coursework outline to prepare you to go to medical school, and the same thing with the law school option. Other things that I can share is that we only require 1 letter of recommendation, although 2 is preferred. And of course, we do provide college credit for AP and IP and IB test scores that you can find on our website. Our website also does provide you with a lot of great information about majors, also opportunities for you to visit campus. So we are able to provide in-person small campus tours Monday through Wednesday during the week. Over the summer, we'll also be doing summer tours Monday through Thursday throughout the day. So definitely a lot of great opportunities for you to come visit campus.
Thank you, Jose. I guess we'll move to Rutgers.
Well, hello, everyone. My name is Annette Medeiros, and I'm from Rutgers University, the New Brunswick campus. I'm just putting something in the chat. If you want to join the Rutgers mailing list, you can just click on that link at any time, and you can register yourself with Rutgers so we can start to send you emails and things in the mail. So again, my name is Annette, and I'm very happy to be with you today. I do miss visiting with you in person, but hopefully I'll be seeing you next year at some point. I am from the New Brunswick campus. You know, like Penn State, we have more than one campus, not as many campuses as Penn State by any means, but we do have 2 smaller campuses, one in Newark and one in Camden. So if you're looking for a commuter, a school that you could commute to within the Rutgers system, you know, you definitely want to check out Rutgers, New York, very close to Fort Lee. But New Brunswick would be considered the flagship campus of the system. There are about 45,000 undergraduate students that are enrolled at Rutgers New Brunswick. There are 11 different schools that are part of the campus. And 7 of those schools you can apply to directly out of high school. So overall at the New Brunswick campus, we are home to more than 120 different majors, minors, and certificate programs. And you can see that the schools offer different programs for you to take advantage of. So we have 1 school of liberal arts, that's our School of Arts and Sciences. And then the remaining 6 schools are the professional schools. So we have a School of Engineering, a School of Business, the School of Nursing, the School of Pharmacy, the School of Environmental and Biological Sciences, and the Mason Gross School, which is our Fine and Performing Arts School. When you're applying to Rutgers, you can apply to up to 3 schools on 1 application form. So you can apply to any 3 of those 7 schools, or you can mix and match choices from Rutgers Newark, Rutgers Camden, and or Rutgers New Brunswick. You will find that there are different admission criteria depending on which schools and which regions you're applying to, with Newark and Camden typically being a little less competitive than Rutgers New Brunswick. And then within Rutgers New Brunswick, the School of Arts and Sciences and the School of Environmental Sciences tend to be a little less competitive. So I always encourage students, in particular who are interested in the professional schools, to always put down a second or third choice. That way you give yourself maximum opportunities of being admitted to the university. And you will find that once you're a Rutgers student, it is possible to do what we call a school-to-school transfer. So if you don't get into the business school right out of high school, but you do get into the arts and sciences school, we have hundreds of students every year who start out at SAS, take the pre-business core curriculum, and then transfer into the business school as sophomores or juniors. So just know there's often more than one path, to get to where you want to get, at Rutgers. In New Brunswick, we are, a really beautiful campus. It's actually 5 individual campuses that make up the university in New Brunswick. And then right in the middle of the 5 campuses is the small city of New Brunswick itself. So we have like a small city with a really vibrant restaurant and theater district right in the heart of our campus community. So students can take advantage of the activities downtown. The train to New York is steps from our campus as well. So, when traveling into the city becomes more feasible again, we have, a great location to access the cultural opportunities in the city, but also, internship opportunities, very easily accessed because of that train line. So the 5 campuses really break down. I said before, there's like 45,000 undergraduate students, but it's not one big mega campus, right? It's like 5 individual campuses, and each one of these campuses is its own community with its own special areas of focus academically. And as an undergraduate student, you can live on different campuses over the course of your time at Rutgers. So you get to experience these different communities by living on them if you're interested in doing that. And also you'll likely take classes on different campuses. You'll have friends on different campuses. Every campus has everything you need to succeed, residence halls and dining halls and student centers and recreation centers. Everything you need is there for you on every one of our campuses. And we have a very awesome campus bus system. It's the 2nd largest bus system in the state of New Jersey. So we're really, really efficient, at shuttling our students around, and it's really, really easy to get around. We do have about 16,000 students in a typical year who live on campus, and first-year students are guaranteed housing. And the whole residence life program is really just a great way to experience Rutgers if you can. We have first-year living learning communities, so you'll live with first-year students. You'll take classes, a couple of classes together as a cohort. We have some living learning communities that are geared toward specific academic areas of interest, cultural areas of interest, language areas of interest. So you can actually live with students who not only are first-year students, but also share a common interest with you. So these are just different ways that, we take that large community and we break it down into smaller units. We are also, as Penn State was and is, a major research university. So there's a tremendous amount of research that goes on at Rutgers, about $700 million a year in federal funding. There are about 150 different research centers and institutes on the New Brunswick campus. And because of that, about 60% of our undergraduates will do a research project before they graduate. So that's just another thing you can put on a resume. It's another thing you can put on a graduate school application. We also have a very, very active career exploration and success center, and they're going to bring hundreds of companies to campus every year for the mega internship and career fairs that they host. And so, students are actively learning about internship and job opportunities. We are also in the Big Ten Athletic Conference, so that adds a lot of excitement to our campuses. There are more than 700 different clubs and organizations. I mean, there's literally absolutely no way you could ever get bored at Rutgers. There is just so much going on. And then finally, I'll just wrap up by saying, we do have our application on the Rutgers website. We're also part of the Coalition for College platform. We are not on the Common application. Our application is pretty straightforward. You have an opportunity on the application to tell us about your leadership, honors, awards, extracurriculars, employment. There's a required essay. And then we ask you to submit your transcript, but we call that the self-reported academic record, where you actually enter all your classes and grades and submit it electronically. Then this year again, this coming year, for those of you who are juniors, this coming year when you're seniors, We will be test optional, so that'll be totally up to you if you want to submit SAT or ACT scores. We do not take letters of recommendation. We do not take additional documents like resumes, copies of certificates, nothing like that. So everything you want to tell us about yourself does have to go on that application. We do have early action, which you apply by November 1, you're notified by February 15th. Regular is you apply by December 1, you're notified by March 30th. The playing field is completely level up until December 1st. So the only real benefit of applying by November 1 is that you'll hear a little bit earlier, okay? But the playing field is completely level till December 1. So that means that we promise you that you'll get full consideration for admission to all your choices if you apply by December 1, plus you'll also receive full consideration for admission to our honors programs, our honors college, and all of our scholarship opportunities. There's no separate application for honors and or scholarships. So yeah, again, just get that application into us by December 1, and I look forward to the rest of the program, and thank you for joining.
Thanks, Annette. As you know, you are very popular here at Fort Lee. And next up, also very popular, Stony Brook.
Well, thank you for having me. Again, I'd like to reiterate, it was very strange not visiting Fort Lee, not attending your college fair. We did it virtually, but thank you. Let me give you a little bit of information about Stony Brook, and then some areas will elaborate when the counselors ask us some questions. We are part of the State University of New York, the SUNY system. We are the closest of the research universities. We're an hour and a half from Fort Lee. We're on the North Shore of Long Island, on Long Island Sound, in the hamlet of Stony Brook. We're a medium-sized research university. And by medium size, I say that we have 17,000 undergraduates, we have 8,000 graduate students. And of our 17,000 undergraduates, I do want you to know we guarantee housing for all 4 years, and we have just under 11,000 students that live on campus. We have over 200 majors, minors, and combined degree programs. And as a research university, as other of our panelists are here today, being a research university, our undergraduate majors, besides bachelor's degrees, we have master's and we have terminal degrees, such as PhD. We also, because of being a research university, as a junior, you can start taking graduate level courses, and they can go towards your bachelor's degree, or could go towards an advanced degree at Stony Brook in an additional year, or get you started on an advanced degree at another institution by transferring those credits. We also allow our students, and the majority of our students take the opportunity to do research. In other words, take what they're learning to solve a problem. We're fortunate that a lot of the research happens right at our main campus. We also have research going on at Brookhaven National Labs, which is the largest federal research facility east of the Mississippi. That's where the Super Collider is, and that's where we co-manage with the federal government. So there are world-class scientists coming there, and our students get the opportunity to do that. We're very fortunate, even though we're 60 miles east of New York City on the beautiful North Shore of Long Island, we have a train station on our campus. So many of our students are doing research in New York City, internships and co-ops there also. Our 200 plus majors are in one of the following schools or colleges. Our largest college is the College of Arts and Sciences. Then we have our College of Engineering and Applied Science. That's where computer science is also. We have a College of Business. We have a School of Communications and Journalism. We have a School of Marine and Atmospheric and Environmental Science called SOMAS. You can see behind me the research center there on Shinnecock Bay on the South Shore of Long Island. We have a pure School of Nursing. Then for all the other health professions, we have the School of Health Management, Health Professions, and Health Technology. We also have a School of Social Welfare. Then we have two pure graduate schools. We have the School of Medicine and we have the School of Dentistry. We're very fortunate with both of those. We have the largest hospital on Long Island, Stony Brook University Medical Center. We have the largest dental clinic on our campus for the School of Dentistry. And we're very fortunate because the hospital is right there on our campus that students in all of the health sciences get the opportunity to do volunteer, do internships, and also do research because it is a medical research facility. As per the activities, we have close to 400 activities that you can get involved with. We are a Division I athletic school, not in the category of Rutgers or Penn State, but you are Division I. And we also have club and intramural for those of you that want to stay fit, but do not want to compete at that level. We're fortunate that where we are located, again, we're in a beautiful area, but again, we have easy access to all of Long Island, also to New York City, Penn Station, and you know where Penn Station has easy access to get for you to get home in Fort Lee. I do want to mention that, but we'll go into more detail as the counselors ask some questions. We have some very popular honors programs. Talk a little bit more about that when we talk about honors programs. I want you to know that everyone is eligible for a merit scholarship. This past year, they range from the low end of $4,000 up to full tuition, which is $28,000, purely based on merit. We were test optional this year, and we are planning to be test optional next year. We were test optional for admissions, honors programs, and merit scholarships. We hope that we can continue being test optional in the future because the mantra at Stony Brook has always been testing is not the most important factor to be admitted, at least to Stony Brook. You are more than a 3-hour test. Our priority has always been and will continue to be your academic record at Fort Lee. So I want to stress, students, you're in charge. Build the strongest program that you can do at Fort Lee because your grades and strength of program are going to be the main factor, all right, for admission to Stony Brook. This year, we delved in a little bit closer to you, the individual, through the essay. We were looking for a well-written one. Your activities, we want to have students on our campus that come to us with a wide background of interest outside the classroom. And we found that our counselor and teacher recommendations became a much more important factor now that we were not using testing. Just for your indication, that half the students that applied this year applied with tests, half did not. We do not have early action or early decision. We eliminated them years ago. The philosophy of our past president is what every student is treated equally, not separate criteria or deadlines for one group and then everybody else. I do want to encourage you, we use the common application to get your application to us as soon as possible, because this year, once your application is complete, we start reviewing it. And this year we started sending out our admits to students that were purely and surely admissible to the university before Thanksgiving. So it's to your advantage to get the materials that we need to evaluate you to us sooner than later. We do have a priority deadline, that's January 15th. Priority deadline, we do accept students after that, applications, I should say. But after that January 15th, we may not have any more merit money to award to you, and that may not have any more spots in our highly competitive honors programs. So that's a little bit of a nutshell about Stony Brook, and there'll be further information, as we go through the questions the counselors will be asking. Thank you, and hopefully we'll be back to visiting Fort Lee in person next year. Thank you.
Thanks, Ralph. Okay, I guess Laura from the University of Delaware.
Yes.
go next.
Hi, everybody. Laura Travis, University of Delaware admissions counselor. I just dropped our website into the chat in case you want to look around. Just a brief overview about Delaware. We're about 2.5 hours south of you all. We're halfway between New York City and Washington, D.C. We are right off I-95. Also have an Amtrak station right on campus and megabus. So you can get to and from any of these major metropolitan cities that are close to us pretty easily. We are about 18,000 undergraduate students, mid-sized, big enough where you're not going to know every single person on campus, but also small enough that you can make those connections with your professors, you can find your niche group. It's going to be big enough that there's going to be a lot of resources to help support you, both academically, searching for careers and securing internships and jobs, but again, small enough that there's really a strong sense of community. Suburban setting, and Main Street runs right through campus. It's really popular. There's 70 different stores and restaurants. Our campus is walkable for the most part. We do have a bus system that runs in case you want to do that. And housing, guaranteed all 4 years. All of our freshmen live on campus. It's a great way to get connected with other freshmen. And then typically students are going to stay on campus. Probably about 25% of our students stay on campus all 4 years. And then there's a plethora of off-campus housing that's available to you. 400 clubs to consider being a part of, like many of the universities. You know, if you're bored, you got to put yourself out there because there's lots of things to do. Whether it has to be to do with, we are NCAA Division I athletics, and similar to many other universities, we do offer club and intramural sports. Greek life is available to you. And then there's clubs to fit any of your passions. So theater, music, the arts, there's an outing club, a gaming club, training service dogs, probably the most popular. I heard there's a chocolate tasting club. So like there's clubs that have significance and also that have to do with your majors. But there's also just fun kind of random clubs. So really there's a lot to do and ways to get connected. So, of course, you're coming to college for the academics, and Delaware, you'll find 150 majors to choose from, 100 minors. It is very common to pair majors and minors at University of Delaware. Professors work with you about that, and there's 50 of the 4+1 programs too. Study abroad, really popular at Delaware. Jeopardy fact that you might want to tuck away in your brain in case you're ever on that show, but Delaware was the first school in the country to start a study abroad program way back in 1923. So there's a little history lesson for you, but it just means that it's popular and you can study abroad as early as freshman year, and you can study abroad fall or spring. We also have a winter session option. Our winter session is 5.5 weeks, so it's really long. So as a student, you are either going to participate in winter session in some way, or you literally stay home for 5.5 weeks, a long time. So students like to study abroad during this time because you immerse yourself in the culture, but you're not missing fall or spring. Winter session can help you. There's a lot of classes that are offered over winter session. Students will typically take 1 or 2 classes. So over the span of 4 years, that's how our students typically can pick up a double major, a minor, double or even triple minor, and still graduate within 4 years. So that's popular. Our most popular majors, I heard recently finance was #1. So we got a lot of people that are interested in business, nursing, engineering, occupational therapy. We have a 350-acre working farm. So just a lot of different options for you. Did you know the average change of major in college is 3 times? So again, you know, it's just nice to be able to have some options if you do decide that you want to change major, which a lot of people do. And other things that might be helpful to know are early action. We do offer that. Our opportunity date is November 1st. So complete your application by November 1st. You'll have an answer no later than January 31st. And it's non-binding. So as we've said before, you know, it's the best of all worlds when you can apply early action, because you get your decision sooner and you keep the options open. If you, and we highly encourage that for the competitive majors that have limited seats. So if nursing, occupational therapy, and engineering, really it's a good idea. It's to your best advantage to get that in by November 1st if you can. If you can't, it's okay. January 15th is the regular priority deadline. And as long as you apply, complete your application by January 15th, you're going to automatically be considered for merit aid. So merit aid is money that a university gives you that does not need to be repaid. It's free money. It's the best kind that there is. At every university, it is competitive. But if all you have to do is get your application in by a certain date, like, it's a good reason to put it on your calendar. We are open for tours. So if you want to come to campus, right now they are self-guided for prospective students. Check back in June. We will probably be starting with guided tours available. And that's an overview.
Okay, thank you so much. Before we get to the next question, I just want to say thank you to all of you, but also to all of the admissions reps. And I've been saying this in my pre-college meetings with all of the juniors, that all of the reps have been so much more accessible during COVID than they ever have before, connecting with our students in different ways through social media and just really letting them know that you guys are there for them. It's really helpful. And it's helpful to know that, you know, we can say, oh, just reach out to Ralph at Stony Brook or just do this. So it's nice to build those relationships with all of you. And we really appreciate that. So on the handout, all of you do offer an honors college or an honors program. And here in Fort Lee, a lot of times our super smart kids would love to apply to those programs. And that's a question we get very often here in the office is, you know, what's the criteria? And if I do make the cut, you know, what are the perks? And then of course, what the parents want to know, are there any financial perks associated to the honors college? Caldwell, will you mind starting with that?
Sure. So I guess full disclosure, I am a little new. So some of this stuff is a little bit new to me, but for the honors program, we do have one. And anybody who submits their application at a 3.0 GPA or above is automatically considered. Then you can choose to be a part of the program if you'd like to or not. In terms of the additional like financial aid, we offer merit-based scholarships based on performance. So anybody at a 3.0 or above is going to be considered for merit-based scholarships anyway. So there isn't really like a boost in the honors program in terms of when you're first coming in, but it's a good program to be a part of. It affords you, you know, a close group of people that you can work and study with, opportunities later down the road as well. So.
Thanks. Penn State.
Thanks. So at Penn State University, we have the Schreier Honors College, and we are certainly very proud of the Schreier Honors College at Penn State. It is one of the premier honors programs in the country. It's a small cohort of students, though. So we like to think of it as sort of having, you know, those resources of a small Ivy League education within a large Big Ten setting. So you still get access to those things that you would get at a large Big Ten institution, like research opportunities, but there might be a little bit more pinpointed within your honors education. So within the Honors College at Penn State University, we're typically looking for students in the top 10% of our class. So we would encourage you, if you are in the top 10% of your high school class, to please apply. But what we're looking for is we are looking to create a community of learners. So within that community, we certainly have students that are valedictorians and salutatorians, but we're really looking for that community engagement and crafting that community within the Honors College at Penn State. So we have students who are touring musicians. We have students who are athletes. We have students who have started their own business. We have students who are running apps out of their garage. So it's really about the passion that you're able to show us, and then bringing that passion into our community and how you're going to be able to use that passion on our campus and help our community at Penn State University. So there is an additional application, and at Penn State University, our undergraduate application is fairly straightforward. It's just the online application you can apply through the My Penn State app, the Common App, or the Coalition app, and really your SAR, your self-reported application record. That's really all you need for an undergraduate application to Penn State. But for the Honors College, you're going to take it to that next level, and that's where we're looking for a more thorough application, where you're going to provide us 2 letters of recommendation, 3 essays. You're going to also let us know, the other things that you're involved in outside of the classroom. And we're really looking for you to show us in that application your passion and how you would bring that to the university. There are a lot of really great benefits to being a student in the Honors College at Penn State. Our freshman honors program at the university has an enrollment of about 300 students. So on a yearly basis, it would be 300 students. They typically live in a living and learning community. The honors dorms are actually above the honors facilities where we have the dean's office and our administrative facilities. So it's all in the same 2 buildings at Penn State, the dorms and the whole honors facility. So you have a lot of great access to speakers, you have honors only computer labs, study lounges, all of those facilities right at your fingertips. What's probably most exciting for you is that there is also an academic excellence scholarship that comes with being in the Schreier Honors College. It's $5,000 a year. What's also really exciting about being in the Honors College is typically, if you're interested in studying abroad, your study abroad opportunity is funded through the Honors College at Penn State. There's additional opportunities for funded research as well. So those are great opportunities at Penn State. You'll also be working with an academic advisor over the course of your 4 years at Penn State to graduate with a thesis, and you get to graduate wearing an honors medal at Penn State and your cord. So there are a lot of great benefits to the Honors College at Penn State. I would certainly encourage you to apply to it right now as you are in your senior year of high school. And I will say, if you are not admitted in your senior year of high school into your freshman year at Penn State, we do have 2 additional opportunities for you to apply into the Schreier Honors Program. We call them gateway admission into the honors program. So you can apply at the end of your freshman year and then also at the end of your sophomore year to the Honors College within Penn State. The only difference in that application process is one of your letters of recommendation has to be from someone who's currently on campus. So we would suggest perhaps a professor that you're working on research with or an academic advisor so they could speak to the type of student you are on our campus. But I would really encourage you to check out the Schreier Honors College at Penn State.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Jose?
Sure. So at Ramapo, we do have a college honors program. It is it's a little unique because it actually integrates itself into your major. So based on your major, you will have the opportunity to kind of integrate that honors program into that field of study. All students in the honors program do complete, I believe, 5 specific honors courses. So these are interdisciplinary courses that allow you to kind of take what you're learning and then kind of bring it out into the global world. So for example, if you are a science major, it's going to, your courses are going to have you explore things like, what is the role of science in society, as opposed to just focusing straight on science. At the end of the 5 courses, all honors students do complete an honors thesis. So this will be your own original research project that you will be completing. So some of the benefits of this program is it really allows our students in the program to develop stronger connections with faculty members. They are assigned faculty mentors that help them through the college honors program, as well as helps them with completing their research projects. So those are some great benefits. All students in the honors program do have an option to live in honors housing. So it's a much larger room compared to the first year, the more traditional size suite that we offer for our students. So you get some of those perks. You have 24-hour access to the honors lounge, which is a separate study area for all students that has computer stations, couches for lounging. When you want to contemplate these honors theses and ideas, maybe you want to contemplate that on a nice comfy couch with a cup of coffee on the side there to really get those brain cells working. But we really provide you with a smaller community of scholars throughout the programs. the honors students do, when they do graduate, they do get an honors medal as well. That's in addition to all their academic cords that they have for commencement. Applying to the honors program, super simple. We built in the application into our college application. So if you do choose to apply to the college honors program, you will get these specific honors questions. And then there is an additional essay that is part of that application that is separate from the college application. The essay really is focused on getting to know you a little bit better. So we're not going to ask you like some Jeopardy question about like, what happened on this date in this, on this continent. But we really kind of focus it to try to get to know the students, those students that are meeting criteria for the honors program. So we're looking at students with about, I would say about a 3.4, 3.5 academic GPA in high school, strong grades in all their courses. They are invited for an interview with the honors admissions committee. And then based on that interview, students are notified if they are being admitted into the honors program or not. For students that are not admitted or kind of like, I want to test out college first before I jump into something like that, we do also give, as Stacey mentioned, kind of a gateway kind of admissions process in your first year. So after your first semester, you are able to either reapply for the honors program or apply originally into the program. For students that choose to maybe take advantage of some of the great opportunities New Jersey has for starting your college career at a community college, we also do offer opportunities for transfer students to apply into the honors program as well. So lots of different opportunities for that. Truly a great program for those students that are looking to do advanced studies because it provides you with a lot of good skill sets for graduate and doctoral level work.
Thank you. Annette?
Okay, thank you. So at Rutgers, New Brunswick, we have an honors college, and then we have individual honors programs. So the honors college, I mentioned before that we had 7 different schools you could apply to at Rutgers, New Brunswick. Well, 6 of those schools participate in the honors college. The one school that doesn't is the School of Nursing. So what that means is that if you apply to any of the other 6 schools, as long as you apply by December 1 and your file is complete by December 30th, we'll automatically consider you for admission to the honors college. There is no separate application. There are no additional essays, letters of recommendation. It's based solely on that application that you submit by the priority due date of November 1. I'm sorry, December 1. So the honors college, all 6 of those schools, the very top students, academically, but it is a holistic review process, and there's a lot of different factors that are going to be taken into consideration when we decide, who the students will be that we invite into the honors college. I mean, typically only about, 10% of the admitted students at Rutgers are going to receive an honors, and or scholarship offer. So it is a very small group of students. It is very, very competitive. If you are offered admission into the honors college, so it's really like it's an interdisciplinary community with like the best students from these 6 schools coming together to learn together. And they also live together in their first year. We have an honors college residence hall for the first year students, typically about 500 students in that first year class. And they all live together in this very beautiful residence hall. It's got seminar rooms, there's a maker's lab. There's actually faculty that live there in residence with their families. So you have some little kids running around the residence hall, which is kind of fun. But it really does make for like a really tight-knit community in the first year. And so that's one of the things that are special to the honors college. Also, every first year student is going to take the honors forum class. And what they're going to do is they're going to put about 3 or 4 students together in a group, and they're going to assign these teams of students to create an innovative concept or product to improve people's lives, right? So you'll be tasked with some sort of sustainability issue that you'll have to tackle. And then they have like a Shark Tank type of program at the end of the year where people are pitching their ideas, and then some groups are selected and they'll continue doing that research on that project in their sophomore year. So the Honors Forum is a really cool process to be a part of. So that's a little bit about the Honors College. Then the individual schools, most of them, have an honors program. So that honors program is specific to that school. So the School of Arts and Sciences and the Business School, they have a joint honors program. The School of Environmental Sciences has its own program. The Engineering School has an honors academy. Mason Gross Pharmacy and Nursing don't have an honors program because their students are all really at a very high level already, the whole group that is admitted. So you have some schools with honors programs. And again, when you apply, if you apply to 3 schools at Rutgers, for example, you could be admitted to all 3. You could get the honors college offer to 1 school. You can get an honors program offer to a 2nd school, and you can get no offer to the 3rd school. Like, the determination of who gets offered what to where is based on that particular school and their enrollment goals and their profile and the types of students they're looking for. So there's really no way I could accurately predict for you, who those students are going to be. I just want to mention 2 other things. So for the one program, the SAS, the School of Arts and Sciences Honors Program, if you are not invited into that and you're automatically, there is actually an open application period. Usually it's sometime in between February and March. So just to mention, if you're disappointed that you didn't get offered the honors program, the School of Arts and Sciences does have an open application period for high school seniors. And then again, at the end of your first year at Rutgers, you have another opportunity to enter the SAS honors program. And then finally, the last thing I'll say is that many of our academic departments individually have departmental honors programs. So that's another area, another place where you can participate in an honors level activity and benefit from that experience. So thank you.
Thanks, Annette. Ralph?
And just to be brief as best I can with the honors programs, we have 9 different honors programs. Honors College, University Scholars, WISE, those 3 go through most of the majors at Stony Brook. Then we have 1 in computer science. Students are invited to that. Business, that occurs, there are 2 there in business. 1 is a leadership, 1 is a pure business, and that occurs sophomore year. We have a nursing honors program. Again, applicants are invited, to be part of that. Then we have university scholars in medicine and in dentistry. That's being admitted to our medical school and our dental school as incoming freshmen. These are highly competitive with limited spots. There is no additional scholarship money. Again, our merit scholarship money is for all of our students. There is, of course, some perks of being in one of the honors programs. You are in a smaller cohort. In some cases in WISE and in Honors College, WISE, by the way, is Women in Science and Engineering. Those students live together in their cohort. The others there live throughout the university housing. There is priority registration. There are seminars and research opportunities. So for students at the top of the class, I want you to go to our website. I want you to look at the criteria. On the common application, it's a simple check mark to those that you want to be considered for, and an essay, all right, prioritizing the one you would most like to be considered for. So that gives you a little overview, but there's detailed information on our website that I encourage you, to take advantage of.
Okay, thanks, Ralph. And then lastly, Delaware.
Yes, so I know how academically strong Fort Lee is, and having an honors college opportunity is important to many of your students. I've included information here about University of Delaware admissions, the guidelines, just to take a look at that, and also the links so that you can really delve more into that if you want to. to apply to our honors college, it's just one additional essay to be considered for that program. And the benefits are, number one, your class sizes are going to be smaller. With your honors college, you're going to delve more deeply into your subject matter, maybe be asked to do additional research, additional papers, things like that. There's a community engagement piece for our honors college students. Probably the biggest benefit is the living learning community. So like many of the other schools here, as a freshman, you'll live in honors housing with all the other honors student freshmen. And it really just creates an academically curious environment, you know, for people that are academically curious and engaged to connect with one another. There's an upperclassman mentor that lives in the residence hall, and they're going to help you through the rigors of the program. And then they also help to bring in guest speakers, you know, Friday evening pizza, you know, pizza with the local expert in whatever the subject matter might be. So it really is a very tight-knit community within our larger university community. And if you are not admitted as an incoming freshman, you do have the opportunity to apply again once you're already at Delaware. And another important thing to know is that our highest merit awards do come from the Honors College. So there is a benefit to being part of that.
Great, thank you so much. Really helpful because that is definitely one of the major things that we discussed during our meetings, and giving those bright students that have done so well here at Fort Lee other opportunities as they do their college search is really important. So thank you.
At this time, I would like to thank all of our reps for being here. We are going to open up the floor to some parent or student questions, but I also want to take a minute to introduce our other two counselors, Ms. Acosta and Ms. Cadell. I should have done that in the beginning, so I apologize. I don't want to leave them out as they are very important members of our school counseling team. So thank you, ladies, and thank you everyone that's here. So at this point, if any students or parents have a question, you can raise your hand in it's located, there's a hand button in the bottom of your toolbar in Zoom. And we ask that you just unmute yourself and ask your question. We also welcome you to turn your camera on. So if we see any questions, we will start to answer them. And you can ask a question to all of the reps or just one rep in particular.
Can they also put it in the chat?
No, we didn't. We just
Oh,
we didn't have
okay.
the chat feature out.
Okay.
We just this time thought it was best for
Yeah,
people to just raise their hand and ask questions. No questions, huh?
I do have a question for Rutgers.
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Brown.
Just with, you know, with a lot of our students applying there, and you always, you know, obviously relying on the self-report, you know, the grades and the SAT scores, having gone optional, and I know having going optional in the future, at least next year, how has that affected the way you looked at applications this year?
Yeah, we just had to kind of reorganize ourselves a little bit. And so students who, so every student who applies, you know, their academic record, what they took at Fort Lee, how many academic classes, the level of their classes, did they take any honors or AP courses, you know, the rigor of the program, the trend in grades, for all students with or without SATs. That's always been, you know, the most important, you know, piece of information that we look at. And then again, all students too, there's an evaluation of their activities and their curriculum, leadership and honors and awards and essays. So that all remain the same. And so for students who did not submit the SAT or the ACT, you know, just a little bit more emphasis was going to be placed on that academic record and those activities because, you know, that's what we had to focus on. We did not, we definitely don't feel that students who did not submit a score were in any way, you know, disadvantaged. And in fact, I would say probably in some ways, some students who didn't submit scores may have even been a little bit advantaged, right? Like you were somebody who, you know, would have gotten a lower SAT score, but your academic record is really great. Well, that really gave your academic record that space to really shine. without having that score kind of take away from it. So it's kind of a nice thing to have the option of submitting, you know.
Yeah.
So I would encourage every student, you know, if you go to the Rutgers admissions.newbrunswick.rutgers.edu, I'll put it in the chat. There's something called there. You could type in our search box profile, and you can look at the middle 50%, you know, averages of students admitted to each of our schools. And that'll kind of give you a sense of the competition for each school. And then you can kind of like think strategically, you know, based on what I'm seeing here, should I submit my SAT or my ACT, or might I be in a better spot, you know, if I don't? So I think it just kind of gives you gives the student a little more control over the process.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
None of my juniors on here have any questions? Ms. Cadell, Ms. Acosta, Ms. Lawler, do you have anything else that you would like to ask?
If there's no parent questions, I mean, this is specifically for Delaware, Penn State, and Stony Brook. Prior to the pandemic, Ms. Brown and I visited Montclair, and something that, you know, they talked about was how they offer out-of-state students in-state tuition if they have a 3.5 GPA or higher. I was pretty impressed by that as a way to encourage, obviously, out-of-state students to come to Montclair. So, you know, Delaware, Penn State, Stony Brook, do you offer anything like that, you know, to our New Jersey students?
We do not. We do offer, you know, our merit scholarships. I think our merit scholarships have always been very generous, and all of our students have equal opportunity to get those scholarships. We think we're great value, you know, for what we offer, both in the classroom and out of the classroom. So we don't offer in-state tuition, which is a real bargain because it is only $7,000 a year. So when I meet parents at fairs, they all say, maybe we should move back to New York because many move out of New York. But again, 78% of our students are not paying our sticker price. So between the merit aid, which is quite generous, based purely on your grades this past year, no testing involved, and our need-based aid, I think we do an adequate job in trying to make Stony Brook an affordable option for out of New York State students.
And for Delaware, echoes similarly to what Ralph at Stony Brook mentioned. Unfortunately, we do not have that opportunity to match tuitions that way. But once again, if all you have to do is apply by January 15th, be sure to get that application in.
So at Penn State University, we have a really exciting program. While we don't match tuition in-state directly, we do have an award at Penn State that we call the Discover Award. And there are 3 criteria for that award. The first criteria is that you have to have a FAFSA form on file. The second criteria is that you have to live in a state contiguous to Pennsylvania, which you all do in New Jersey, or if some of you live in New York, that counts too. And then the third criteria is that you have to have an offer of admission to one of our Commonwealth campuses. So it is a scholarship that is not applicable at our University Park campus. It's at one of our other 19 campus locations. We call it the Discover Award because we want you to discover all the great things about Penn State, right? But it's an additional $6,000 a year award off tuition for your $6,000 a year for your first 2 years. If you stay at that campus for all 4 years, which you are able to do within the Penn State system, the scholarship moves up to $7,500 a year. So it is a really, really great opportunity to, as an out-of-state student, lower that cost of a Penn State education.
Thanks. Great, thank you. We do actually have a student question. So at this point, I am going to move Ella Swinnerton to our panel to be a panelist. Ella, you may unmute yourself, and it's up to you whether or not you want to share your screen, share your camera, and ask your question. Hi, Ella.
I had a question for the Stony Brook representative. I am interested in your school, and I was wondering if you had any touring opportunities so I can look at the school and what you have for dual major versus an accelerated program.
Ella, let me just tell you, for dual majors, students have the opportunity to do a major or minor and to do 2 majors. So that's purely up to the student. The opportunities are there across the university. Right now, we are not allowing individual impersonal tours. You can come to our campus and do a self-guided one through your cell phone. That is happening now. We do anticipate that we will begin over the summer offering you the opportunity to visit our campus in person. We're getting geared up for that. First, in May and in June, we're going to invite students that are matriculating, that have not visited the campus in person, the opportunity to be there in person, and then we're going to open it up to anyone else that wants to come. So it will be coming. So look out, go on our website, sign up for our information, and we will keep you informed through emails and text. Okay? So we encourage you to come and visit. I think all of us want you to come and visit. It was very frustrating this year that we could not have you and your family there, and we want you to come and see what we offer in person, meet our students, meet our professors, and experience. It's a test drive, just like when you're buying a new car. We want you to come. And that's coming down the road, Ella. So all you students, for all of our schools, we want to have you come and visit. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ella. Last call for any questions from our students or any of our counselors. Okay. Well, I just want to thank all of our reps for coming. You were wonderful as always. You know, we really do appreciate the relationship that we were able to maintain and this advantage that we are able to give to the Fort Lee High School students. So thank you again. And thank you again to all of our attendees. I hope everyone has a great afternoon, and we look forward to communicating with you again in the future.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye.